Hi, my name is Alexander Kruger, and this is my business proposal for the Engineering 490 Entrepreneurial Seminar. So, for my idea, I came up with Aquasense. At least that's what I decided to call it. Here's how it works. Since the beginning of pools, since they've created pools, there's been this huge problem with people drowning. Toddlers, babies, senior citizens, people who just don't know how to swim, and also animals. So there's been a few attempts to reduce the amount of pool-related deaths, and a few of these have been unsuccessful. One of them is a bracelet, actually, that you can attach to your child, and what would happen is once this bracelet comes in contact with the water, the bracelet sends out a signal to either your home alarm system or some type of receiver or your pager even, and it lets you know that your child has entered the water, this item has come in contact with the water. However, there are a few problems with this, and this has been shown by the product. First of all, obviously your child has to always be wearing the product, which you can't really guarantee. In addition, your neighbor's child could fall in the pool, your dog could fall in the pool. And actually, animals has been a huge problem because animals end up falling in pools quite often, and they end up drowning because, sadly enough, they can't find the steps, and animals are obviously unable to hoist themselves out of the water. So they panic, they swim around, and unfortunately they pass away. So there's been a few other attempts besides this bracelet idea to reduce the amount of pool-related incidents. One of these is a pool cover. Pool covers, however, create a few problems. Once someone falls onto a pool cover, there's been many incidents where the person is actually suffocated because the pool cover constricts to the body, and that's a big problem. Another attempt at reducing these pool-related incidents has been a little gate, and my next-door neighbors actually have one. It's a little gate that goes around the entire pool. There's obviously multiple versions of this, but in essence it's a gate that's quite difficult to open, something that a toddler couldn't figure out. But all in all, no matter how you make this gate look, it's aesthetically appealing, and you don't buy aesthetically unappealing, and you obviously don't buy a pool to have an aesthetically unappealing thing in your backyard. So for my idea, I came up with Aquasense. Aquasense could work in two different ways, actually. So the first way would be creating a type of force field around the pool. I know it sounds like very science fiction, but obviously this technology is out there. It would simply be a few posts based on the shape of your pool. It'd make the most sense if your pool was probably a rectangle and or an oval. And what would happen is you would have just 4 posts, which each have transmitters, and they speak to one another, just like the same way your a garage door knows not to close because there's something that blocks away those sensors. Same type of concept. So once something crosses that line, the sensors would know about it, and they would they would send off a signal to a receiver, and the receiver would could be multiple things. It could be text message to you. It could be your alarm system in your home. Anything that would let you know that this barrier has been crossed. So be it an animal, a toddler, the person doesn't have to be wearing a bracelet for the sensor to go off. That's one of the key advantages to this type of idea of Aquasense. The other way that Aquasense could work could actually be just a little, like, imagine a touchpad barrier going all along just the border outline in your pool. So whatever comes in contact with this little touchpad, the touchpad would sense it, and it would send off a signal to the same type of receptor. So this would be great because you would actually not be able to see this at all. Maybe you'd have like a little white strip of rubber around your pool, but in all actuality this would not be a big deal compared to the amount of lives that you could save and the amount of liability that you wouldn't have to worry about by having something like this installed. So this would be a great product for the weary parent who's unsure whether or not they should purchase a pool because, you know, they have a couple kids along the way, or it'd be a great idea for schools to have, middle schools, elementary schools who have pools who are worried about kids falling in. Aquasense would be an incredible pitch for the market, and I'm surprised that something like this hasn't been created already. There's been a few attempts, but nothing as simple as just a little touchpad border the same way that it works with car sensors for traffic lights. It'd be very simple, and the technology's out there, and I hope that it can be implemented into this Aquasense idea. My name is Alexander Kruger. My UMID is 291-80928, and it has been a pleasure taking this course. That was my pitch for entrepreneurial studies engineering 4.